it's Ethan Skolnick from 5 on the Floor on the 5 Reasons Sports Network here at Kaseya Center, where the Miami Heat beat the San Antonio Spurs in a preseason game that looked like a test run, probably the last test run for the regular season that's going to start October 23rd against Orlando. Yes, Wemby did play for the Spurs. Heat starting lineup, I thought, again, was the story. We saw some ball movement. We saw some cutting. Not necessarily great three-point shooting. Jimmy Butler kind of got into this game after Chris Paul pissed him off, which seems to happen every time the two of them face each other. But to me, the biggest story of the preseason so far, other than the fact that Duncan looks good, Jaquez looked good today, Duncan coming back from the injury. But to me, the biggest thing is that Bam has been pretty much the best player on the floor every time we've seen him so far this preseason. We saw him hit a couple of threes also, Alex, and I know that's been the big question this year. It looks like he's intending to take these in every game.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing is that it makes it easier on the other guys when they can just – it feels like there's an emphasis on moving the ball around, right? And it's much easier if you're Terry or Tyler to get some paint touches if, the big man on the other side is a little bit worried about, if Bam is wide open or not. Like, he even got Victor to bump to jump on a pump fake early in the game. Like, it's even wild that Victor is jumping for pump fakes in the first place, or how much length he has. He can really just stay down every time. But he jumped for a Bam three. Like, the fact that they're respecting it and, occasionally worried about it for sure is making things easier for his teammates. And to me, the other thing I've noticed the most just in these couple of preseason games is feels like there's an emphasis on active hands. Like, everybody in that starting lineup is getting their hands on the ball. And I've noticed that in multiple straight games. You're seeing it from everybody, whether it's Jimmy, Bam, Nico, Terry, Tyler. I really like the defensive activity there, and maybe that's just like kind of their way of countering, the fact that it's a small backcourt, right, in the modern NBA. I think that's just a way that you can compensate for that. So I think that you got to be encouraged by the results, considering they haven't even made threes yet. Like, I think it's looked pretty decent on both ends, this lineup that we've been kind of, concerned about.
Yeah, and I think we're going to look at a couple of things with it. One, Tyler Hero, I thought, made very good reads today, but it looks like he does have to adjust to the new shot form. We've talked little bit about that. And I do think the biggest variance this season is going to be Terry Rozier's shooting. Like, it just feels like there's going to be some 2 of 9 games, and then there'll be some games where he gets hot. And this team, that may end up being a barometer. One thing to look at so far, rotation. Alec Burks did play today. Highsmith was not in that 10-man rotation, although we're expecting him to be. But again, Drew Smith, the backup point guard, and it does look like he's going to be on the back end of this rotation when the season starts. All right, for Alex Toledo, I'm Ethan Skolnick here at Kaseya Center. Heat win another preseason game. They play tomorrow against Atlanta. I don't think your starters are playing tomorrow. They're going to get a night off. Have a good one, everyone.